Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, it's going to be something of like a library sale haul, I guess. I've helped out my local library, helping them do some stuff as they're basically cleaning out and renovating and all that kind of thing. And basically, they wanted to give me first dibs on some books, basically, that they were going to put on the library sale. So, yeah, after perusing some of the boxes, because I mean, there's just tons of boxes just like all over the place, I just found a few things that I really thought I might like, so I picked them up. And let's just get started. And the first one is going to be the first 5 books in the Earth's Children series by Jean Ayul. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the last name. But yeah, she wrote The Clan of the Cave Bear, I think in like the 80s. And I think there's 6 books in the whole series now. And I have the first 5 here. But basically, from what I understand, it's the adventures of basically a young Cro-Magnon woman, and this is sort of like fantasy, but it's based heavily on, or it's more like historical fiction, I guess, or in anthropology, basically during Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, sort of early human times, and it just sounded really interesting. I've heard of this before. I've never really read historical fiction, and I've only just recently read fantasy, so I obviously never like really picked it up, but I saw this series. It sounded really cool. I've seen other people really enjoy the series. Some people haven't enjoyed it, but I think this definitely sounds like something I might get into. So I picked up the first 5 books there, and the first one is The Clan of the Cave Bear. The second is The Valley of Horses. Then The Mammoth Hunters. And The Plains of Passage is number 4. And the 5th one is The Shelters of Stone. But yeah, they look pretty interesting. Some of them are kind of beat up, but that doesn't bother me any. So yeah, so the first 5 books in Earth's Children. Now, for the next 6 books, it's the first 6 books in the Harry Potter series. So it's only missing the Deathly Hallows. And I've read Harry Potter before, but as like a booktuber, I almost feel like obligated to have Harry Potter on my shelves somewhere. I had them obviously at one time when I was younger, but when I was off at college, pretty much the books I left behind got destroyed in a fire. So yeah, Harry Potter was definitely left at the house, and so they're gone. So I haven't picked them up since then, but just figured that'd be a good, when I saw them and they were getting rid of them, that'd be a good chance to be like the second owner of a good set of Harry Potter books there. Like I said, only missing the Deathly Hallows. I'm not going to get too much into Harry Potter, obviously, because most of you guys already know quite a bit about that. And let's get on to some of the other books. I picked up one history book I found. There were a few, but I just wasn't interested in them. And I really wasn't even interested in this one. I was like, I got to take at least like one history book. And it's The Pyramids of Egypt by I.E.S. Edwards. And it's a Pelican book, which is kind of like an offshoot of like the Penguin series, if you guys know what that is, from I think like the 50s through 70s. And I have quite a few others. I think you can see them like right here, but if I can just like grab a few right there. I kind of like them because they got like the blue covers and stuff. You can see they're kind of interesting. But to be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of Egyptian history or ancient Egyptian history, which is kind of weird, I know, considering all my like history books and stuff. But I have a few like right here. But I don't know, Egypt just never really interested me. But I figured, I might just pick up this like vintage Pelican book. And then the last 9 or 10 books are like I find them interesting. Anyways, they're like sort of outdoor type books, I guess. Like either, well, you'll just see them. Anyways, the first one I picked up, I'm super excited about, is the Snowshoe book. The Complete Guide to How, Why, When, and Where, and it's by William Osgood and Leslie Hurley. Where I live, we have snow like half the year, and I go snowshoeing all the time. It's just something I really enjoy doing, so I just thought it'd be kind of an interesting little book. I don't know if it tells you how to make them or repair them, the best like techniques of using them and stuff. It sounded really cool to me, so I picked that one up. Also picked up The Master Backwoodsman, because like I said, where I live, actually, I mean, I've said it in other videos, it's like uber rural, and this just had like kind of interesting like ideas on like, basically doing stuff like in the woods and like old-fashioned recipes and kind of like basic survival stuff and things of that nature, I think. So I picked that one up. And in a similar vein, I got Outdoor Safety and Survival by Paul H. Risk. I like survival, handbook type books. I haven't read any this year, but this one's full of stuff like that. You know, how to build shelters and fires and traps and, you know, where to find water, all that kind of stuff. Just thought it might be kind of interesting. And then I also picked up Your Cabin in the Woods by Conrad Meinecke, or Meinecke, I'm not quite sure. But it basically tells you how to go about building a log cabin. That's something I've always wanted to do. I know that's, you can't like just go do that anymore, but I don't know, it'd be like super cool, like in the woods, on our property, if I could just like, you know, build a log cabin without any electricity or anything, just for like reading books and stuff with like no distraction. That'd be like super, super cool. Yeah, so I kind of picked that one up just for fun. I also picked up a couple animal-ish books. I picked up Birds on the Move, A Guide to New England's Avian Invaders. So it's all about basically migratory birds from the south that obviously migrate to like kind of New England, which is part of where I live. So it's kind of an interesting thing to see like different summer birds and kind of like what they do like in the off season when they're not like where I am and stuff. So it just sounded pretty cool. And then I picked up 4 fishing books. I enjoy fishing, but they had so many hunting and fishing books that they were getting rid of. I'd say there was probably hundreds. So I just tried to pick up a couple that were kind of at least like relevant to where I live. I picked up The Art and Science of Fly Fishing by Lennox Dick, and I don't fly fish that much, though I do have my father got me one for my birthday last year. Or was it? It was either birthday or Christmas, and I need to like use it a little bit more. I've used it kind of like at the house just practicing, but I haven't actually brought it into the field when I go fishing. So I need to like figure out how to do it, since no one I know actually does fishing or anything. So I have to basically like teach myself. Picked up Bassin in New England, a practical guide to productive black bass angling in the 6-state region. So it's all about, obviously, bass fishing in New England. So that's kind of cool. I go bass fishing sometimes, and it's really fun. So, you know, it's a perfect companion book to that activity. I've got All About Brook Trout by Bob Elliott. And brook trout are a big, brookies are a big thing in Maine, basically. So along with rainbow trout, there's brook trout, and just like, you know, like one of the fish like you're supposed to like fish for, I guess, when you live in Maine. So I just thought that'd be kind of a good companion book as well. Then I also picked up Trout and Salmon Fishing in Northern New England, the complete guide to the best fishing in Northern New England with maps, charts, and illustrations. And I basically just picked this one up too because it's Northern New England, which is even like more specific to the region I live in. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like I said, they had so many hunting and fishing books. I almost like felt bad like not taking any of them. There's, like I said, hundreds probably of each. So I was like, I'll take a few. But so there's some rescue books basically from the library when they were basically downsizing and renovating and all that kind of stuff. So I just picked up a few. I also picked up. I'll leave down a link to the other books that I bought, like in that pre-library sale as well, that I picked up at an earlier time. And I also included those World War I books that I really enjoy, the Source Records of the Great War that look really sweet. So yeah, that's why it pays to volunteer at your local library. So see if you guys can do that. If they ever need help, you know, just go ahead and do that. And whatever you guys are reading, always remember, read victoriously.